You are now listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. Relax your anus. Balls. Thick thighs. Camille Shat. Where's his neck? Eddie Jones. You're fucked, mate.
And we are
We're nice now.
Are we human?
Are we Leinster?
Are we Leinster? Is that how it goes?
I think so. I think so, yeah.
Are we human?
Welcome to the Leinster podcast, where we
Are
talk all
we
things
Leinster?
Leinster.
I hope they someone has to make an actual video with music
Yeah.
and those words.
Yeah. They will. They will.
Hello, friends. You're listening to the Friends of Rugby podcast. And we were singing to you the new Leinster chant.
The unofficial anthem of Dublin.
Who came up with that?
I don't know. The fans.
Oh, and I saw that online. That's those lyrics. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just scrolled past it.
I think it's an official fan songbook, you know? Which is, I don't know, you don't watch like football or like soccer. They have those.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
And to be fair, they're a big team. They're a big club. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time everyone
But
gets.
that song,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, how are they gonna like sing it?
Are
we human?
Are we Leinster? You're on your knees trying to score some tries.
Should we get right into it and start talking about the Champions Cup weekend?
Fuck yeah.
Let's start with the first game. The first game of the weekend, the game of games, Leinster versus Glasgow. This game did not go.
I want to say
I don't think anyone called this game a 52-0.
52 fucking
A
nil.
good old downright dirty nilling.
Yep.
Not a dirty dicking. Downright dirty nilling.
Glasgow,
I probably would have rather got dicked.
Yeah.
I would have got dicked down.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah.
Leinster have had 114 points in the last two games in knockout stages unanswered.
Yep. 114-0 against
This is like unbelievable.
against not only the URC champions, but Harlequins aren't schmucks, are they?
No, Harlequins aren't schmucks. Glasgow definitely not schmucks. They won the URC championship last year.
Yeah, they did.
52-0.
I don't really. I had so much to say about 2 minutes ago, and I'm just looking at that score, going, "Fuck's sake, Glasgow."
Let's be honest. I thought there was a small schmidgen that Glasgow had a chance.
I think I said last week, wouldn't be surprised if they lose, but I think Glasgow will front up, right? And okay, if it had been 52 to even 15, like I'd have gone, okay, that seems like I could accept that maybe.
Just put this in perspective. Like last week, it was last week. Leinster beat Harlequins.
Yeah.
They pounded them.
Yeah, worse than this.
But was it that surprising? Like, this is pretty much a national side team. And the Harlequins are not the greatest in the Prem. They're up and down. They're losing a game, win a game. Like, this is not a terrorizing team.
No.
So when I saw that score, I was like, yeah, I can see that happening.
Leinster are angry.
Yeah, but Leinster
are angry.
nailing Glasgow.
Yeah.
Because Glasgow, I think like 9 times out of 10, they beat Harlequins.
Well,
And they put a pounding on them.
except for last year, where Harlequins knocked Glasgow out of the Champions Cup.
Yes, but this is a different
It's
year.
a different year.
Yeah.
And I would say Glasgow, if they play them, I don't think it's 9 times out of 10. I think Glasgow beat Harlequins 7 out of 10 times.
I would say 9.
All right.
I would say 10 out of 10 almost. I'm so positive.
I've
of
never
how
been
good the
positive
team
about
is.
Glasgow ever again after this.
Yeah, you
I'm
always
back
doubt
to-
Glasgow.
I do, and then they proved me wrong, and now they've unproved me wrong. They've
Yeah.
unproved me wrong, the bastards. Yeah, let's talk about Leinster, though, because they deserve it. This is... Okay, you know me. I'm a hater. Not a big fan of Leinster.
Are you going to say some Leinster love here?
I'm about to love some Leinster. Are they
you just
human?
you rip your shirt open with a Leinster jersey.
I was born in the Dublin streets. Okay, well, first of all, so I was texting my dad, and I was saying... He was like, who's going to win the Champions Cup? Bordeaux, Toulouse, Leinster. And I was saying, like, I think Leinster now. Like, I've changed my tune because I was thinking back at the start of the Champions Cup, I was seeing some Leinster games, and I was saying to you on this podcast, I don't think Toulouse are going to be worried about Leinster. Like, I don't think Bordeaux are going to be that worried about them, right? And that was a bit tongue-in-cheek because they obviously are. But now I'm like, this is a fucking steamroller team, you know? If you even look back at the URC form of Leinster, yes, they've won every single but one of their games, but even the Ospreys gave them a game the other day. You know, that was Ospreys nearly beat them. They've just gone up into... They put the fucking nitro button on in Too Fast, Too Furious. Like, what the fuck is this? That was a complete performance, right? And I even think, like, Harlequins, people criticize them. Harlequins were like, they faded. They didn't look up for it. People have been criticizing that performance. I don't think Glasgow played badly. I thought they were trying to do... They looked up for it. They were trying to do stuff. They were trying to front up physically. There was no lack of effort from Glasgow. But, you know, didn't score a fucking point. Didn't score a point.
There's one thing that's really sticking out for Leinster. It's their defense.
It's unreal. Yeah.
It's like this... It's like they took the rush defense and they've like morphed it into something like they've upped the level on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they do this thing where they have not the whole team rush up, but like certain people rush off to cut off space right away.
Yeah.
And then they still have that a line coming up behind them.
Yeah. This is what happens when every single one of your players is that good. Because the disadvantage of the blitz defense is if I rush up and miss that tackle, I've just punched a hole in my own defense. They trust their guys so much that they can target individual guys on the other team at every single play. It's like, your job, shut him down for this play. Your job, shut this guy down in this situation. They're so intelligent about how they defend. They can play really risky styles and trust every single one of their guys to make those tackles.
Their organization.
Very impressive.
Their organization, how they've all bought into the same system, their cohesion.
Yeah, that's it. The cohesion is the word.
The cohesion, like, their players are good.
Yeah.
But there's better players.
Yeah, in some positions.
I would say that their system, their structure, their cohesion is really what's doing it.
And you have to give credit to Jack Nienaber, I think, because when Lancaster was there, people criticised him, but he took Leinster from being kind of decent to very good. Mm-hmm. Nienaber's taken them to better than an international side, right? Because I don't think a lot of international teams beat that Leinster team.
I don't think so either.
I mean, yeah, and it's cliche of me as well to say, oh, it is the Irish team with add-ons, very fucking good add-ons.
Yes, let's not forget, R.G. Snyman.
Yeah.
And the intelligence of Jordy Barrett.
And he was fucking good.
Yeah.
He was fucking good in that game.
And his rugby intelligence is next level.
It is, yeah. But he was like James Lowe in that, he's a back, but he was doing forward things all game. He was winning turnovers. It was unreal. I want to read you some stats from that game as well, because I think that is interesting, right? So territory is 55-45. Seems balanced. 100% scrum win percentage for both teams. Line out win 84-95.
84 for Glasgow?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can look at like the passes are comparable, the carries are comparable. Everything looks kind of the same, slightly shaded in Leinster's favour, except 8 tries to 0, right? Except that stat, which is fucking mental. So, like I said, I don't think Glasgow played badly, but you're right. The defence is what did it, right? And it's not like they were making a million tackles. Right? They just made the tackles they needed to make every single time, right? And when you've been doing that for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, then you're into the second half and your subs start coming on and that scoreline still says 0, you start to fucking lose hope, don't you?
They also, the pressure that Leinster put on the offense makes the tackling a lot more easier.
Yeah, it does. It does, yeah.
Because they're scrambling to... Like the other team is scrambling to do something, and now they're not running onto the ball with power or speed.
Yeah.
They're trying to do something. They're in the middle of a pass. They're trying to think about what they're doing. Then Leinster's already on them.
Yeah, yeah.
The pressure, the defensive pressure, just shuts teams down. And Glasgow is a team that is what really makes it significant too. Is Glasgow is a very, very real. It's probably one of the best offensive teams.
Yeah, yeah.
Like their backs. They're all smooth operators.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And this is kind of like they're probably like Glasgow is probably not the best, but up there as one of the best backlines in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So this is for Leinster just to like handle that.
And And you're only missing Finn Russell, and other than that, it's basically the Scottish backline. And that's probably the best backline in the Northern Hemisphere right now.
Do you think that these two wins too are subject to, like, Leinster didn't really get challenged in the forward pack?
And here, I'm glad you said that, because this has happened before to Leinster, where they will absolutely eviscerate teams, and then they'll go into a final or a semi-final against one of the French giants, and they will suddenly look undercooked.
Where they have a killer backline and a killer fucking
They can
pack.
handle it, right? They can handle it, yeah. And the French teams like Bordeaux and Toulouse both kick really intelligently. So they're not going to fuck around with getting dragged into up the middle rugby that Leinster probably want them to play, right? Like they have just the same toolkit as Leinster does. And I would say maybe they're a bit more exciting in that with their backs, both of those French teams.
But I think the back thing is like Leinster can take control of that.
Yeah.
It's the bullying from a forward pack that really can hurt Leinster. Or you've seen that with Ireland.
Yeah.
When they come up against big bullying packs.
Yeah.
Right? They have a lot of trouble with that.
And I think that's the thing with these two French teams, Bordeaux and Toulouse. Like they can do everything.
Yes,
they can do everything.
And if you have like the Bordeaux pack, which I don't think is strong, is better than the Ireland's. I mean, Leinster's.
Well, it's the same thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
But the Toulouse pack.
Yeah, that's a huge pack.
That's a huge pack, and that back line too to back it up.
Yeah,
that's a complete package.
Yeah, I am a bit sad that Dupont's not there now.
No Dupont.
No Dupont.
You have to say it Dupont.
Dupont. Sorry,
Dupont. Why?
Dupont. Yeah, I'm a bit sad about that. He would love this. He would love this.
Do you know what has to Leinster? Oh my God, they have to after these two performances.
Yeah,
they fucking have to win.
I know.
Champions Cup now. It'll be so embarrassing.
It would be. The stakes are too high now for them not to win. Like I've said all the nice things I'm going to say about them, and now I'm going to say some shitty stuff. If they lose this, that is embarrassing. Like
if they
have everything, you have every single ingredient that you need to win a Champions Cup, and you can't do it.
Like Northampton, take them out.
Yeah, yeah. I would laugh. Yeah,
fucking North, because I could see Leinster nilling Northampton. I could
now.
They could just put a downright dirty nilling on them.
Yeah.
And fucking like I could see that. I could see that. But and if they do that, and then they go to the final. And then they get dicked down.
Yeah.
That'll be like, oh, that would be fucking crushing.
The worst thing that could happen now is that Leinster just keep smashing. Because I'm going to this final with you. I want to see a good game. And if Leinster are there, I don't want to see a 100-0 to Leinster. I want to see the best game of rugby I've ever seen, right?
Oh, at the challenge, at the final.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they make it, I'm confident they'll make it at the final.
I am.
But yeah, if they lose, and then after that they lose to like the Sharks in the URC final. It just fucking completely crumbles.
Yeah.
Well, someone on our YouTube made a comment.
No, they did?
That they saw pictures of Jordy Barrett and Archie Snyman barbecuing.
They're having a bra.
They're having a bra. Like, oh my God, why are these guys living on the edge?
Oh, don't burn yourself, guys. You're so close.
You fucking idiots.
Don't go so close to the sun. No more bras.
I got a bra for life.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
Don't worry, he's at Leinster now. He's got a little team of guys making bri for him. He doesn't have to cook himself, okay?
They have firemen on watch.
Yeah, they've got an entire fire brigade waiting. They've got 4 guys just cooking for him.
Breaking news.
This isn't Munster where he has to cook his own meat, okay? He's got a guy for that now.
RJ Snyman and Jordy just burned the shit out of themselves again.
I gotta go back to that though. Jordy Barrett was fucking unreal. Like he's
a cheat code. He's really like, man, he just shows like, cause he's like one of the top New Zealand players. Just shows those guys at the top there. It's the intelligence.
It is the intelligence.
It's the reading of the game. It's being where you need to be all the time, constantly looking for space.
Yeah.
It's just.
And doing it for 80 minutes. It just doesn't switch off, you know? Doesn't switch. Same as Jameson Gibson-Parkinson. Doesn't switch off.
Gibson's the Parkinson.
Caelan Doris is the same, right? That hit he took off, I can't remember what it was. It was like someone fired a missile at him. And he was up again within like a few seconds and then won a turnover, you know? It was unreal.
A little bit of a... What do you want to say about Glasgow?
Fucking Glasgow. Fucking pricks.
Let's go on to the next game of the weekend.
Right. Yeah.
Sad game.
Sad game?
It was sad. I watched this game.
Okay.
What a sad day.
Tell me what game it is.
It is Bordeaux.
Oh. Bordeaux.
Yeah. Put a pounding on Munster.
I wouldn't say it was a pounding.
It was a kind of a pounding. And Munster kind of came alive too late.
I felt like Munster could have won that at certain points.
At the beginning of the game, the way Munster started, I thought I was getting in my couch. I was like, ooh, winnable game. This is going to be a good shit. And then it just started cracking and cracking. And then the fucking mistakes. Yeah. The mistakes Munster were making was just unreal. Like, it was just... anytime they got something going for themselves, they're like, fuck it, I don't want this. And they would do some fucked up shit. And then a lot of that was to do with the pressure Bordeaux was putting on them. Yeah. So they were just making rash decisions and just fucking the ball around. Yeah. Like Jack Crowley, like, fuck, man. Like, he made some, like, shocking, like, passes. Like, you know the guys at practice here for the men's team here, when they're not looking and they just start rifling the ball around? Yeah. And you're
just
like,
a bit desperate.
And they just kill the drill or whatever. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, just relax.
Yeah,
this is
like,
a drill.
It was like that. I was like, Crowley, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. I think it reminded me of that game England-France in the Six Nations, where like France, if they hadn't dropped the ball 5 or 6 times, they'd win that game comfortably.
Oh, yes.
And I was thinking that whole game, like, Munster, you could have won that. You could have won that, right?
But this was not just like, it was like that, except Munster were getting kind of creamed.
They were, and they were also up against an opposition who were putting fucking 47 points on them, yeah.
The defense, night and day to Leinster. Yeah. Night and fucking day. They're just standing there. Yeah. Like they look like Australia. You know, Australia just kind of like stand there and the team just like run a train
just point
on
at the
them.
guy and be like, you come to me, mate. I'm not moving. You come to me.
Yeah.
Then they gone around them. Oh, fuck.
It was like that. Yeah. There's just no line speed. Like you can't give Bordeaux... Like we got Pinot and what's his name?
You can stop right there. You can fucking stop there.
How do you say his name? Belly Barry.
Belly Barry.
Belly Barry.
Old Belly Barry.
Yeah, Belly Barry. Like he fucking with his gut and Pinot. Like you can't give them space and let them get out wide.
No.
Like that.
No.
And Munster just continuously let them do that.
It's not a carbon copy of the Leinster game though, because Bordeaux are as good as Leinster, probably. So this is like. And I never write Munster off in Europe, right? Because they know what they're doing there. They know how to win knockout games. They've shown that in the URC. They've shown that historically in Europe. They know how to win these games. So I was never going to write them off. They could have scored 2 or 3 tries in the last 10 minutes. I wouldn't have been surprised. But it was those mistakes. And yeah, Bordeaux put pressure on them. But it was sad as well because you've got guys like Tyke Byrne, Peter O'Mahony. Like, these are guys who are so reliable and always get out of bed for these kind of games. And I just felt like it was a game that could have been. And I genuinely would love Munster, Leinster in a final. That would be cool. And like that would be a cool final.
They got a lot of I was giving Munster big chances because they got a lot of guys coming back. Yeah, from injury. Yeah, like Tom Ahern's back.
Yeah, he is.
He came on, and I was like, all right, here we go. Tom Ahern's back. Yeah, and then like 5 minutes later, it's like yellow card. They just give him a yellow fucking card.
Yeah, we've got to talk about the cards a little bit as well. There were 4 yellow cards, and there was 1 red card in the 73rd minute, which is effectively a yellow card because it's 10 minutes. He's not coming back within that time frame.
Oh, some of especially Bordeaux's discipline was atrocious.
It was bad from both teams. Mm-hmm. It was bad for both teams. And I think it was actually a reasonably well-reffed game.
Yes, it was.
It was, right? I feel like I'm going... someone's going to yell at me for saying that.
There was one call.
There's always one call. There's always a dodgy call.
I forget what it was, but they were looking at it, and I think it was like a high tackle. Yeah.
The guy was dipping. I know what you're talking about.
It was on Jean Klein. Yeah. And Jean Klein goes in on him, like, what's his name? The prop. If I look at the teams here, I think it was, how do I say his name? Ben Tamaifuna, whatever his name is. Yeah. He grabs his face and he just drops to the ground. And he doesn't like get hit in the face. Well, it looks like he doesn't get hit in the face at all. Yeah. Right? So he's clearly kind of milking it. Yeah. But they like are looking at this tackle over and over and over again. And I'm like, what are they looking at? Like, Jean Klein is like bent at the waist.
I think they were looking for gouging, weren't they?
He's completely hinged.
I think they were looking for gouging.
No, they kept looking for the high hit.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay. Right? Yeah.
But there was just nothing there, and they just kept going over it and over it and over it again. And I'm like, guys, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Let's see it from another angle.
Can
It's
we
like-
not make? It feels like everyone's scared to make the wrong decision. And
Yeah.
then they're just taking forever to make the decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is so strange.
But I think because that game was so intense and it was fucking sloppy, I think the ref was a bit like, I need to check all this because it felt like every breakdown there was some shenanigans or some dodgy shit. So I don't blame him for taking his time, but it just saps the energy from the game and the players. You can see them all waiting, stood around in their little huddle. And if one team is banging on the door, it just sucks all the momentum out of them, doesn't it? So it's not good for the pace of the game.
You got to talk about Jalibert too.
Yeah, he's fucking good.
He was fucking
He
smooth in
nailed
this game.
how many fucking kicks?
Well, he was having a bit shaky at the boot at the beginning.
6 successful. Yeah, but he missed one, didn't he? Did he miss 1 or 2?
I think he missed like 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, didn't matter in the end because, as you said, it was a bit of a... I don't know. I don't think that scoreline reflects the game entirely. I think Bordeaux were always going to score that amount of points. I think Munster should have scored more. That's kind of...
Bordeaux's like one of those teams where they're almost like a super rugby team.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck it, yeah, you can score as many tries as you want.
Yeah, we've got a Peno.
We're gonna score.
Yeah.
We're gonna score more tries.
Yeah, chuck a few in. We don't mind. We've got Peno over here.
That's what
So
it felt like. And then they like almost completely shut down Munster's fucking line out. That was scary.
Yeah.
Like they could not get a line out off. Like they just couldn't do it. Like Munster just could not get their line out going at all. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Line out win percentage for Munster is 62%. Yeah, that's bad.
62% of their
That's
lineouts.
terrible. Yeah.
I guess to give credit, Bordeaux is supposedly the best defensive lineout in the Champions Cup.
Yeah. Yeah. But 62%, just do an easy one. Just throw it straight to the front guy, if it's going that badly.
So
21 lineouts as well. Wow.
I wonder how Northampton feel.
I was just going to ask you that. If I'm in the Northampton training this week and I'm looking at Glasgow dead and Harlequins dead, like I'm looking at their fucking graves, like, what do we do, guys?
But they're like in a club right now, the Final Four, and it's like
you're the elite of Europe and you're sat there shitting your pants.
Toulouse, Bordeaux, Leinster, and Northampton. Hey guys, we're just
play
really
some
happy to
rugby.
be here.
We'll give it a go. We'll give it a try.
Leinster and the Dragons. Like what the fuck are you guys doing here? Like what is the Northampton?
I can't wait for their statement to be like, we've decided to focus on the Prem. We're not going to send a good team. It's like it's a semi-final of Europe. What are you doing?
They're just like standing around like, it'd be like me standing around with a bunch of like movie stars like, oh shit, I'm hanging out with these guys.
And Steve, the extra.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the guy that grabs the cup in the way in the back. There I am.
It's my finest work.
Yeah.
No, but genuinely, if you're Northampton, like, the fuck do you do?
It looks awkward. Where are they? Where's their standing in the Prem?
Not good.
Yeah. So
Maybe you'd say comfortably mid-table. I mean, it's
I'd have to look at
competitive
them.
in there. But
I'm just gonna take a look at this here because, like, where are they right now?
I think they're 6. I'm going to guess 6th.
I'm gonna go here. Just gonna take a look here because this is like, of course I can't just bring it up. Where do you think it is on their website?
Why don't you just Google Gallagher Premiership?
I accidentally binged it.
I'll tell you. Don't worry. I got you. So Northampton are in 8th.
It's like fucking what
5 wins, 8 losses.
the top
Yeah,
four,
they're
the
not
best in Europe.
They're not even in
And
that
they're-
middle pack.
They're
really.
like in 8th fucking place.
Yeah, there's that middle pack from Leicester to Harlequins where any of those guys are in a promotion in a playoff spot. Northampton are 28, so they're 9 points below Harlequins. So yeah, they're fucked.
Like it's not the Saracens. It's like not Bath. It's nothing like. It's no like legacy good club.
Yeah.
Like even Leicester, even the Leicester Tigers would make more sense, right? And
I mean, Northampton have history, but it's not. We don't think of them as European heavyweights, do we? That's your point, right?
yeah,
They're not European heavyweights, are they? Especially not this year.
It's just odd. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I had some stuff to say about the format of the Champions Cup as well, but I think I really wrung that out last week as well, so maybe I'll just leave it and say this is a good, except for Northampton, semi-final round now. Prove me wrong, happy to be proved wrong. I want to be proven wrong. I think Northampton would be pretty pleased themselves if they, maybe it's the first chance they get, Leinster are 30 points up, it's 30-0, and Northampton go, let's just take 3 points so we've got something on the fucking board so we don't look like Glasgow and Harlequins,
It just seems kind of odd to have Northampton. I think it's almost kind of a bad look.
It is a bad look. This whole competition.
You're talking about the 8th place team in the Prem is in the Final Four of the European Champions Cup.
And you know what? I hate and everyone else hates the new format. At least when it gets to the quarterfinals, you've got 8 teams who are like, they deserve to be here. These are the cream of the crop. But even now we've got 4 teams left and one of them's 8th in the Gallagher Prem. Like, well, that's kind of fucking stupid. Yeah.
You're just like, what the fuck are you doing
come
here?
on. So, but on a more serious point though, it does show the resource inequality now is becoming a pretty severe gap, isn't it? Like,
I think it also says something about Cast.
Yeah.
Cast played Northampton on the weekend.
Yeah.
51-16.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Cast does not like playing away from home.
They do not like leaving.
You know what they are?
They're
Like the typical. They're still stuck in that French club way.
Yeah.
Right. They got a good team.
Yeah. Their fans show up.
Start
singing "Are We Cast?"
Are we human? but they, when they have to play away, they're just like, fuck it.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
And this is honestly to God, I like what happened here. Why we're seeing Northampton and not Cast.
Because a bunch of teams, not just the French teams, decided to only take one competition seriously.
And I feel like if Cast was playing at home, that score would have been reversed.
Not reversed, but very different. Maybe a win.
And Cast would have won.
Maybe. Yeah. They don't lose at home, do they?
No, they don't lose at home.
They don't lose at home.
They don't like losing at home.
No,
that's why.
No, the fans don't like it.
So that's what I got to say about that game.
Yeah.
Like, Cass is like, an odd. It was just odd. A lot of people were calling Northampton to win this game too.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense to me that Northampton will win that.
I was like, Cass. And then when I saw that Cass were away, I was like, okay, I can see this this going not the way, not for Cass. Northampton moving on.
Yeah. They're in. And the other one was Toulon, Toulouse.
Toulon, Toulouse. You know, every time I hear of Toulon, Toulouse, I think of, the CFL, right? The Canadian Football League.
I know it well.
Did you know for like almost 40 years or something that, because there's only 7 teams.
Right.
There's only 7 teams. But did you know for like, I think 30 or 40 years, there was 2 teams in that league with the same name?
What were they called? Wasn't it the Lions?
No. It was the Saskatchewan Roughriders versus the Ottawa Roughriders.
They just love
There's only
rough.
7 teams. There's only 7 teams, and 2 of them had the same name. And it wasn't like for a couple years, we accidentally fucked up. It was like 30 years or something like that.
And eventually Ottawa crumbled and became the Red Blacks.
Yeah.
Which is
they crumbled a couple of times. They actually crumbled, came back as the Rough Riders again.
Oh, yeah.
And then they crumbled again, and they're like, "Okay, let's change it." And they were called the Renegades for a little bit, and now,
I quite like that.
And then they're the
Red Blacks, aren't they? Which is an objectively worse name.
I thought it was like, let's just bring back the Rough Riders.
Yeah, for a third and final time.
But I know Toulon and Toulouse are like this.
Oh, it's just the name of the town. Yeah.
But
they're not changing
every
anything.
time I hear those 2 teams, I think of that. For some reason, I just think it's like
they are very close. I mean, it's kind of like Leicester and Leinster. They're only one letter away from,
Yeah. This game, man, Toulon almost made a big upset here.
I'm glad Toulouse won because
just came down to a kick.
They did. Yeah, and Ramos was a bit dodgy from every other kick, and then right at the end, he's like, don't worry, guys, I remembered I'm really good at this. And then just absolutely nails it, yeah. It did come down to... Do you know what? I'm glad, though, because I don't think Toulon beat Leinster. Toulouse could beat Leinster. I still want the best 2 teams in this final, and Toulon aren't one of those.
Toulouse look a little more beatable now that DuPont's injured.
They do, yeah. They do.
Even though it's just like the same team, one guy missing, does that make a difference?
Well, it didn't matter for France, but...
They almost got better when he was gone.
They did. You got Legaric and Luku to step in. Like, you don't have the same quality. And that's another thing about Leinster's run here. They don't really have any significant injuries. I don't think they have any. I don't think they have any
they have
injuries.
a scare. Jack Conan's got a scare. He's got a shoulder scare.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
that's and Ryan Barrett has a calf injury or something like that.
Yeah.
But that might be hit and like Conan. If he's not good next week or for the semifinal, he'll be definitely good for the final.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's always lived in Kalen Doris' shadow a bit. So, well, he hasn't because he was there before him. But, Kalen Doris would have been the, oh, wow, that's a big loss. Jack Conan's a big loss to any team.
Yeah.
But he's not the guy you think of when you think of starting 8-man for Leinster, is he? So,
Jack Conan?
yeah.
No, but I would think, no, that's just because they've kind of implemented Doris as the starter.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say Doris is leaps and bounds better.
No,
than
I don't
Conan.
think so. I actually think Jack Conan over the ball is a better player.
You know what? There's a lot of aspects where he's better and Doris is better in some areas.
Yeah.
But they're very, not comparable players, but skill level and having someone on the field, very comparable.
Yeah, totally.
We keep talking about fucking Leinster.
I mean, it all comes back to
Toulouse and Toulon.
what we're doing is we're working our way towards the final, right? And let's be honest, we don't know fuck all about the French teams, do we?
No.
We know enough. We know enough to bullshit
They're
our way through it.
French.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Toulon and Toulouse, that sounds funny because they're nearly the same.
It's weird, too, because you got two French teams playing against each other, and then you have the ref talking to them in English.
Yeah. To be fair, a lot of those guys on both of those teams are just fine speaking English as well. So,
yeah.
But no, I do always feel bad for teams when they don't understand the ref, and he's just yelling at them and it's like, get back. But yeah, like I am happy that Toulouse won this because like I want to see the cream of the crop. Like if you look at that league though in France, I think it's Toulouse, Bordeaux, then Toulon. So all three of those teams are as good as it gets. Mm-hmm. But the only thing is Toulouse losing Dupont, and then there was that drama that it was Porter and Tyg Byrne had done something nasty to cause that injury. Obviously, I don't agree with that. I'm just stirring the pot a bit, right? But it would be kind of bullshit. I can already see the French media now. You injured Dupont and then Leinster won the Champions Cup, you fucking Irish bastards.
Oh.
That would be a headline, wouldn't it? That'd be a very French headline. So
there's going to be some bad blood. Those two teams play each other. There will be some French fans that are going to be...
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I got in there early, but a lot of people are coming for Leinster these days.
Leinster are the new Saracens.
They're the new Saracens, yeah.
They're the new bad guys of rugby.
Yeah. They are the new bad guys of rugby, yes. Yeah. Especially since I read that songbook.
Because if Toulouse won this championship and kept creaming everyone, they're not the bad guys.
The thing about the French money teams is they never pretended to be anything but that. I think that's why I accept it, because they were always just like, we've got a fuckload of money, let's go buy some Fijians. And every now and again, it doesn't work, right?
And it's like, it's less honorable too, because they kind of buy a lot of the talent. They kind of have a mixture of talent from around the world to make that team. Yeah. The majority of the Leinster team is like homegrown talent.
And that's the thing.
They've developed.
That's right.
That's more honorable. That's more samurai right there.
I think so.
But you still, like, Leinster is still bad guys.
And I think the thing is when you criticize Leinster fans will rightfully say that. Hang on a minute. Like 90% of this team are Dublin boys, right?
Yeah.
Or if they're not, they're Irish qualified. And in the case of James Lowe and Jameson Gibson-Parkson, they've been playing for Ireland for a long time. They're not newbies.
No.
Right? They're not newbies. So I get it. But when they say that, as someone who's not a Leinster fan, you hear it and go, yeah, shut up. You got loads of money. Shut up. You got RG Snyman. Shut up. You got Geordie Barrett in your team. You got Slimani, right? So it just feels like this. They're defending what they're doing too hard. Whereas if they went, yeah, fuck you, we got money, I would accept it a bit more. I think subconsciously, when French teams do it, and you've got Mourad Boujallal buy in every single human who can play rugby, and then it doesn't work, it's fun to laugh at them. But when they do win, you go, oh, it makes sense. Look at that team, right?
Because you can even like make comparisons to Saracens.
Yeah.
When they were in their heyday, a lot of their guys were homegrown talent.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
These are guys that came through the Saracen system.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Just like Leinster, they had some imports. They had Liam Williams, who was actually excellent in that 2016 campaign. But you're right. Most of those guys were Saracen. They were London
made up
boys,
the England
right?
team too.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So it's just kind of something about if you have homegrown players.
Yeah.
You're the bad guys.
I think there's something about the French as well. It's like it's not that I don't care, but it's just like whatever.
You expect that?
It's not even that I expect it. It's so far removed from my. Like I'm not. I don't have to face Leinster battering my team every couple of weeks. If Toulouse are beating the shit out of Cardiff all the time, I'd be like, "Fucking Toulouse, piece of shit,
like muddy,
fucking muddy piece of shit."
They just After they get off the pitch, they just to do their their post fucking work game recovery. They just dip themselves in fucking baths of money.
Yeah. They're bathing in caviar, laughing. Yeah. But yeah, no, I understand why if I was a Leinster fan, I'd be blue in the face trying to tell people, hang on, we fucking developed these guys ourselves, right? But it's still funny.
When are the next games here? Are we going back to URC or are we going back to...
We're having a little pause now, I think. Have a little break.
So May.
Yep.
So we got a couple weeks.
Yeah.
May 3rd, May 4th.
That's right.
Ooh, Saturday, Sunday.
And then we'll be there live in the stadium
8
in
a.m.
Cardiff.
Bordeaux, Toulouse, 8 a.m. Sunday. We can watch that game and do the podcast.
There you go.
Look at that.
That'll be a game.
I don't even know if I'm going to watch the Leinster-Northampton game.
I'll watch it if at half time Northampton would have points.
Yeah.
Any points. 3 points.
3 points.
6 points.
We're going,
5 points. I'll watch it.
We're going into the
Don't
second,
care what Leinster scored. I just want to see points.
We're going to the fucking second half of this one, boys.
Because you must be thinking, is it possible to score against Leinster right now? Like,
I don't know.
100 and odd
They wanted to
points?
find out at the champ. Like so we're confident we're going to see when we go to Cardiff. We're seeing Leinster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing Leinster.
Yeah.
Bordeaux, Toulouse. I don't know.
I think
right
Toulouse.
now Bordeaux is the more complete, put together.
I think Bordeaux are a
package.
better team. I just think Toulouse know what they're doing in these games.
And Northampton just happy to be there right now.
They just want a few points.
Yeah.
They just want a few points on the board. Yeah.
That's a fucking.
Yeah.
All they got to do is get 3 points, and then they've done way more than they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into some other news?
Well, obviously, the elephant in the room is my dear Cardiff.
Let's talk about. You want to talk about that, or you got to talk about a couple of?
I was going to talk about the Challenge Cup, but you don't give two shits about the Challenge Cup.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah,
that's still
that?
going on.
Yeah, it's still going on.
Who won it?
We'll
Is it
find
over?
out. You will find out live in person.
Oh, that's right. We're going to the.
You are
Challenge
going
Cup
to that final, so you will find out.
I'll carry the final.
I'll be stood next to you,
Who is the team that
holding
are
your
left?
diaper in a bag, going, "Don't worry, Steve, they're playing right now." I think we've got.
I totally forgot that was a thing.
We don't have to talk about it if you don't want.
No, we could talk about it. Oh, no. I don't want to feel bad now.
Well, there's no Welsh teams in it, so
really?
yeah. I don't think there's any Irish teams either.
What?
It's just a Scottish team, little old Edinburgh, beating the Bulls.
Oh, we got Edinburgh, Bath,
Yeah.
Lyon, and Racing.
Yeah.
So we got this exact same setup. We got 2 top 14 teams, a Prem and a URC team.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bath beat the shit out of Gloucester, and I'm sad because Gloucester are like the Challenge Cup boys.
Oh, I'm looking at these scores right now. Ospreys just almost did it.
Yeah. Who's that
was-
against Lyon?
Yeah.
Ospreys could have done it as well. I reckon they could have got to a final. Well, they
Look at
didn't.
these scores, man. Like this, like Bulls 34-28,
Yeah.
40-43, Racing and 2 Connacht. Like these are some close games.
Racing Connacht was a very good game of rugby. I'm sad you didn't watch it. Very good game. We saw Owen Farrell back in his peeling back the ears. Lancaster's son. 2 English guys rocking some French teams.
I just have a hard time getting up for like Timu Champions Cup. You know, it's like, what is this shit? Why does this even exist? Like, it's just so they can make some home game money.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I like it. Cardiff
well,
won
you
this
have
not
to
long
like
ago.
it because that's the only kind of like European championship things that the Wales have.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm not even going to argue with that.
If they were making it to the
Do
Champions
you know
Cup
what?
every
Let's
year.
stop talking about the Challenge Cup, okay? Let's talk about some other sad Welsh news. Cardiff went into administration,
Yes,
but then was saved by the Welsh Rugby Union.
they came. Well, when I first heard the news, I think that was when you came in early with
Yeah.
this news.
I told you early
So you
day.
made a post, or you messaged me, and
did.
I heard rumors a couple days or a few days before
Yeah,
that Cardiff are going to fold,
yeah.
and
And you didn't care.
I was like,
I was giving you the freshest gossip.
That
I got
was-
that from humans
Yeah.
that I know
yeah,
on the inside.
you got
And you were just like, I don't fucking care about that.
your Welsh insiders,
Yeah. This.
and I was for sure. I was like, okay, well, if they're going under, the Welsh Rugby Union are going to swoop in. There's
Yeah.
no way they can like Cardiff.
You can't let the capital city
No.
not have a rugby team, can you? No.
Okay, so what happened here? Do you know the ins and outs? Like what happened?
I do.
here?
I do know the ins and outs. And obviously, this is based on what other people have told me.
Did you glue this mug back together?
I did, yeah. Do you like that?
Yeah, it's good.
You did that a while
Pretty
ago.
solid.
Yeah, it's Gorilla Glue.
Sorry, continue.
Sponsored by no. So Cardiff were bought out by Peter Thomas, who was the millionaire benefactor of Cardiff, right? He was a bit of a local hero owned Cardiff. He passed away.
Yeah.
Investors took over. And they were two guys who were kind of connected to Cardiff. They had like an investment company. And turns out they were full of shit.
And part of Epstein Island shit.
Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be fucking surprised. Everyone in Cardiff hates them now, right? Like they really let us down. And the WRU had supposedly paid a company to investigate them. Not in a dodgy way. Like when they took over, what normal business practice is, we send a accountant or whatever to make sure you've got the money so that we're okay with you taking over this club, right?
Yeah.
That was all above board. Mm-hmm. Turns out this guy who they paid to go and check out the finance of this investor didn't do his job properly. So they've been late with payments for a while now. So this wasn't unexpected to people in the know. And we're waiting in Wales for this new regional and Welsh Rugby Union agreement. And we're kind of like, come on, new CEO Abby Tierney, like fucking get on with it. Turns out this is why everything was delayed, because they knew Cardiff were going to go into administration and they were preparing to take it over. Because as you rightfully said, you can't not have the capital city of Wales have a fucking professional rugby team.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God.
So there's some drama, right?
So these guys are like holding up Welsh rugby.
Yeah, and they wouldn't even be the first people to fucking do that, right? So we're not surprised in Wales, but to everyone else it sounds, that's super dramatic, right?
Oh, it sounds dramatic to me.
It is dramatic. Wow. It is fucking dramatic. But for us, it's just a fucking Tuesday. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just another day at the office for Welsh rugby. Like, and I think how I felt though was, it was a bit of a storm in a teacup, because everyone's been really dramatic. Oh, another bad day for Welsh rugby. This is a disaster. It's not good. But ultimately, the end result is Cardiff are fine. Nothing's changed. The new PR agreement between the regions and the board is now going to go through. I actually kind of like Abby Tierney. I think she's been saying a lot of the right things. So long story short, fucking hell, we can't just catch a break in Wales. But also, we're still going in the right direction despite these dickheads who
So
don't
what
have any
happens
money.
now? Like, do they get another owner? They look for another owner?
They'll look for another owner, but you know how these things go.
Should they even get another owner?
Tell you another story. So back in the day when the Celtic League was about to be formed, Ireland decided we are going to own all of our provinces' teams, right? We are just one big happy rugby family. Wales nearly did that because we initially had 5 professional teams.
But then the English came.
Then the English came across the hills.
They said, no, we'll own these teams, don't worry.
But they were going to do that. But the Welsh Rugby Union didn't think they had enough money to support that. They were like, that might bankrupt us if we take on 5 professional teams. Like, one of you goes under, that could bankrupt us. That's not a stupid thing to say, right?
No.
We have less money in people.
Unless you got balls like the Irish.
They got big old Irish emerald balls, yeah. But they got more people and money, right? So it makes sense that they could do that.
Yeah.
But we were close to being in exactly the same situation as Ireland now, with maybe slightly less resource. Slightly less, not significantly less. Mm-hmm. And here we are, with some dodgy millionaires backing out and leaving Cardiff in the lurch. Long story short is, you asked me, should Wales just own all the fucking regions, right? It's dangerous. These are volatile little bastards, right? If one of them goes under, they could take the whole thing with them, right? So it's in the WIU's best interest to find a private investor for Cardiff to own them soon. Because maybe the Scarlets go under tomorrow, and then we're really fucked, right? Because the WIU can't take control of 2 teams. They don't have the money.
Well, they're going to have to.
They might have to, yeah. But, I do think everything's going in the right direction still.
Man, I've never seen, ever since getting into rugby, watching teams fold is like just a natural thing now.
That's right. And I think because there's so many well-documented shitstorms in Welsh rugby, we forget, except for Ireland, this is happening everywhere else.
This is happening,
and France, actually,
and France. Yeah, it's happening everywhere, and it's happening.
And it's happening worse. Look at England; they've lost 3 professional teams. At least we haven't lost a pro side yet.
Yes.
Look at Australia; they were on the brink of not having rugby union not that long ago. Right?
I think they're kind of almost. I think there's a little bit of paint on.
There's some
paint on some shitty walls there.
100%. Yeah. And good for them for.
But we did see a team fold there.
Yeah, we did, and good for Western Force for coming back, because they went for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, you're right. I still think they're bleeding players to rugby league, but it's not all. I mean, they're competing in Super Rugby, they're actually getting some good results. But it doesn't mean that everything's shiny and golden there, does it? And even New Zealand, like, they're not the team they were nationally.
New Zealand's probably got a bit of a different issue. What I would say is they're really battling now with like keeping the talent at home.
Yeah, because Mark Talea today signed for a Japanese team.
Yep. And then also even in Australia, what's it, Loasio?
Yeah, maybe.
Noah Loasio. Yeah, he's rumors to be going to Japan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Japan's sucking a lot of these players out.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a sabbatical like it used to be. They go play for an off season in Japan.
They're like gone for a while.
They're gone for a while. They've gone to make some serious money for a couple of years.
But you can't blame them.
I don't blame them at all.
Right?
No.
And New Zealand's kind of stuck in a rough place because they don't have the money to pay these guys. They have the best players in the world.
Yeah.
But they can't keep these guys.
These
guys are worth a lot of money everywhere. People all over the world want them.
Yeah, yeah.
And like that's just a curse they're gonna have. I know, like South Africa kind of just gave up and embraced it.
And I think that the difference with South Africa though is they have New Zealand's about 4 or 5 million. South Africa's like 60 million.
I think it's like 160 million.
Oh, is it? Yeah, whatever it is, it's tens of millions more, right?
So there's a lot of people there.
I don't think that's as much of a problem for South Africa. They will always keep churning out rugby players. I think they have the most registered rugby players in the world by a long shot, right?
Yeah, I think it was like 1 million or some shit. Like
it's insane. So they're okay, but I do agree with you, New Zealand. Do you know what they need though? Tariffs. I'm not joking. If there's ever a time for tariffs,
rugby tariffs,
it's going to be big.
Some rugby tariffs.
It's going to be big, and then we'll just fuck the stock market of rugby players with our rugby tariffs, and everything will be just fine.
South Africa's got 63 million.
63
million.
million.
It's a way bigger country.
Yeah,
but everyone's got problems.
Yeah,
everyone's got rugby problems,
and everyone goes and rightfully they look at Wales and go, Jesus Christ, what a dumpster fire. Yeah, it is. I personally think things are getting slightly better.
You only have two nations that have professional rugby that are
stable.
That are stable.
Yeah. You could say South Africa's stable, actually. I think South Africa's stable.
Yeah, but they have a talent drain.
They do have a bit of a brain drain.
But they've worked their whole system around that.
They have. They've adapted, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone's still complaining, and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and they're lucky enough to have like an endless conveyor belt of top talent.
Yeah.
So they're in a good situation, but they integrated that, and New Zealand's like still in denial.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, no. If you leave, you can't play for the All Blacks. But they're still trying to keep their rugby in house, and they gotta let go.
They do.
You gotta let go. If she loves you, she's gonna come back.
Well, Richie Mwanga is teasing.
Just
think
about
come back.
Just think about the world rugby, right?
Yeah.
So you got New Zealand players going all over the world.
Yeah.
Playing for all these teams now. All their top guys are going around the world. Yeah, the competition at home is not going to be the most top tiered. It's still going to be fucking good.
Yeah.
And the competition between them and Australia now becomes even more competitive.
It does.
And another thing too is that now all the players around the world they're eligible to be picked for the All Blacks. They want to stay eligible for the All Blacks.
And if there's a team who can do that just as well as South Africa, i.e., you just come back when you're playing for us.
Yeah.
I think New Zealand could do that.
Yes.
Because if anything's true, it's that guys can fit into the New Zealand system quickly because they're already fantastic rugby players and they know the New Zealand style of rugby.
Yeah. So you got these players now. He got a guy. He's playing for Connacht. He's playing for Sale Sharks, or he's playing for fucking Glasgow Warriors.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come play for Scotland. No, I want to stay eligible for All Blacks. I want to stay available for selection for All Blacks.
Yeah, and maybe James Lowe or Jameson Gibson Parkinson actually is an All Black now, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Because they see him now, like, oh, that guy's
really fucking good.
He's really developing.
We fucked up by letting him go.
No, well, we can just bring him in. Hey, you want to be an All Black?
Yeah.
Yes, I really do.
Yeah, kind of like a Jean Klein situation.
So they could, because there's a lot of like South Africans that want to play for Springboks.
Yeah.
And the Springboks is smart. Like, you guys go have a good time.
And I think right now, if you had like a pride in the jersey-ometer, like the team that has the most pride in the jersey, like those guys want to play for that country desperately, I would put in the tier 1 teams, South Africa are number 1.
Yeah.
But obviously because they've won a World Cup and they're really fucking good helps. But you know how these South Africans talk about rugby. They are like, our country has problems. rugby has saved it.
Oh, there's something I want to talk about that too.
You know, they like get misty-eyed, right? Because when Siya Kolisi talks about what it means to play for South Africa, I want to play for South Africa.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking hell, put the bri on. Like, I want to do it, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah, they you know, wherever they are in the world, they put the fucking Springbok bat symbol up in the air and they come flooding home, you know? Like, but Geordie Barrett, he's in Leinster having the time of his fucking life, probably going to win a European Cup. Every single thing he's done since he's moved to Leinster has been amazing. If he was also allowed to go back and play in the rugby championship in the summer, that's a fucking...
Well, he will be because he's only a 6-month contract.
And that's what's smart about it, right? That's what's smart about it. Leinster have designed a system where it's like, no, you can have the best of both worlds. You
You're
can go
having
back
a
and play.
sabbatical...
Yeah.
You're having, like, these players are now... Like, the New Zealand players are now doing this, like, sabbatical thing now.
Yeah.
It's even built in their contract
It is,
where
yeah.
they're allowed to go play somewhere else now.
Yeah.
So they're slowly, like, kind of loosening the straps.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Speaking about South Africa, and so a lot of talk in South Africa about why they haven't held a Rugby World Cup
Okay.
since 1995,
Okay.
especially being since like one of the most dominant forces in rugby.
Yeah.
So the president of South African Rugby was talking about that.
Yeah.
And he basically was like, "Oh, we can't. We're a shit country."
We don't have enough electricity for a full rugby tournament.
This is basically what he says.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he's like,
joke
"Listen,
about it,
we're a
but,
third
like,
world country. We can't."
yeah, it's well documented,
yeah,
isn't
we
it?
can't just,
There's
like-
rolling blackouts.
Yeah, he's like, even though we'd have a major there's major economic bonuses for this, we're just not set up to host a Rugby
We're
World
just
Cup,
not ready yet,
which is
guys.
sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
It's sad because this heartland of rugby would
Yeah.
be. You think that they would have a World Cup every now and then,
Yeah. Oh, they will again. I'm sure they will.
and just the whole country just not being in a position to do that.
I'd rather go to South Africa than the USA right now.
Well, yeah,
At least they're
me
not going
too.
to put
I
me in
would-
a
I would
jail and
hand-
deport me.
So you're just sitting in El Salvador.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do. He's already there now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess bring this guy back. I don't know.
I
He's in El
can't. He's in El Salvador. What do you want me to do about it?
He's an El Salvadorian
I think
now.
he lost his mobile.
But yeah, it's a bad situation. But it was kind of weird. Like the president of rugby was like, "Yeah, our country's shit. Can't do anything."
Do you know, though, it's nice to
Jesus.
hear some fucking honesty in rugby, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's nice. I mean, I think I would love to, every time someone goes to South Africa to watch rugby, I watch all these YouTube guys. They always like, actually, it's fucking awesome here. Like, obviously the weather's good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the people are really nice.
Another surprising country put their hat in for a Rugby World
Was
Cup.
it Spain?
It was Spain.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because I know like the Arab nations with
Like Qatar. And
yeah, they're like hardcore wanting a World Cup.
They are.
And I was like,
I
I don't think they should have a World Cup over there.
Not least because they don't have much of a rugby culture. You know,
No, that's like that should be like.
let's not forget that's a factor. you
Yeah,
know?
that's a factor. Like, there's no
Never mind the human rights abuses,
yeah,
you know, which are important.
the slavery.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no. Yeah, you want to go to a place where there's like a rugby culture
Yeah.
or a really strong indication for a future of a rugby culture.
Which is why,
USA
yeah.
was a good choice.
Yes. Just what I was going to say.
Besides political stuff, like USA is a really good choice for a Rugby World Cup.
Yes.
But with Spain, like that would be, and plus we always want to go to Spain.
Okay, I'll tell you a couple of things, though. Spain have gotten better.
Yes.
They've gotten a lot better. They also have enough football stadiums.
Yes.
So that's not going to be a problem.
No, stadiums is not an issue.
No, stadiums is not an issue. It's very close to France.
Yes.
We actually, so when Cardiff won the Challenge Cup, I think it was 2018 or 2019, it was in Bilbao in Spain. They packed that stadium out, right? For not the Champions Cup and the Challenge Cup. I think that's a good idea.
You're also, you're super close to a lot of rugby fans.
Yeah, you are. Because Toulouse, these are the French rugby heartland is the south of France, right? That's only a few hours to get to Spain. It's not a big deal for them, right?
When I was in France, you had just all these countries that just had a train ride away
Yeah,
to go into the World Cup.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was a win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. So I could see that. I think Spain's a good idea. I would like to see it in a South American country because I know obviously Argentina are a very good rugby team, but you know, you got Chile and Brazil and Uruguay. Like, I think that's percolating away. I would love to see a South American Rugby World Cup.
That would be really cool.
It would be cool. It would be really cool. So there's still lots of places where, and like, if you had it in somewhere like Hong Kong or South Korea, that would also be cool in Asia. Singapore, I don't know if Singapore could do it. That's a pretty small place. But you know what I mean? Like there's lots of places we could do it. But you're right. South Africa does. It's their turn to be like, because you imagine like where is the rugby magnifying glass on the world? It was on New Zealand for the longest fucking time.
Yeah.
This is the capital of rugby is New Zealand, right? I'm gonna piss some people off. It's moved to South Africa, right? That is the capital of rugby now.
Yep.
And to not be able to have a World Cup there is shit. So put your fucking electricity back on. I want to visit.
Yeah.
But it won't be for 20 years or whatever. But
we'll put our bulletproof vests on and we'll go down there.
yeah. I would love to go. But yeah.
That would be a sick. Other things, France. There was some drama in France. So you know how France are going into they're going to New Zealand.
Yeah.
For the summer
tour.
Summer tour.
Yeah.
Big. That should be a big tour.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Big tour because right now they're like the two best teams probably in the world.
Yeah. Except South Africa.
Yeah. And
Ireland.
You know how like France are not picking their best players.
They never do that though.
Yeah. So there's actually been a lot of talk about changing that.
Like they have to.
Like Antimac was just like, well, the rule right now is if you're playing in the top 14 final, can't play in the summer tours.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it's just because there's like 1 million rounds in top 14.
Yeah, I was looking at the number of rounds.
It's like 26
they're
rounds.
They're on 20 or it's
26.
mental. Yeah.
And then that's not knockouts.
No, that's just regular season.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
But Antimac was saying, I want to go.
Right.
I want to go. I want to play in New Zealand. I want to do this. So there's a lot of talk right now on trying to maybe get around it.
Yeah.
But even Geltier has said, he's like, I'm not going to put my players. Like, I would want to take my top players, but I don't want to like sacrifice or risk their health and safety by like overworking them.
I kind of agree with that. I respect it.
I kind of respect that too. I kind of see that. And you see how attritional the top 14 is.
I like that. So it's actually on the top 14 to just cut the number of fucking games then, isn't it? Like,
they can't do that.
they're not gonna do that.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Yeah, I understand they're not gonna do that, but it's there's nothing will change.
They got a lot of bills to pay.
And earlier when we were saying like Leinster have got a whole lot of homegrown talent, actually these days, if you look at those French teams, it's not a bunch of international superstars anymore. They have rules and they follow them, and most of their guys are French qualified or have been through that French academy system.
Yeah.
And they're a bit cheeky because they set one up in Fiji. So anyone who trains in that thing in Fiji is... And they watch this on a Squidge video. I know I'm ripping them off a bit. But like the point is they are starting to Ireland a bit. They are centralizing things. They are making a lot of homegrown talent. And they've got 3 professional leagues nearly, you know? So like they are leapfrogging ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, the supplementation of foreign players will get less and less and less.
Exactly.
They'll still have those guys, but every country does that.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when they bring them in through the school system.
Yeah.
Like the biggest, like New Zealand's like the biggest thing of that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's from here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I came here in a school of scholarship.
Yeah.
He was 16.
Because he was 7 foot tall when he was 12.
taken from his home.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, I was just watching that on the news. I was seeing that in the news. I was like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, I sometimes feels like France are kind of left out of some of the tier 1 fun times, not just because they're not an English speaking country, but because when we have a Lions tour, I'm almost sad we don't get to take French guys with us on the Lions tour, right? But it feels like they get left out of a critical part of rugby union, so that they're not even doing proper summer tours. Is a bit like, come on, at least make it exciting to watch you guys in the summer, you know? So I want to see Amtamat go.
I feel like they're in a place, France is in a place right now, though, that even if they're not going to have their ultra superstars, because they'll be in the finals, 'cause the best players will be on the best teams.
Yeah.
I still feel like they can bring a pretty fucking decent team.
That was the point I was trying to make until I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, they have enough depth now that their development squad is a fucking good rugby squad.
Yeah, so
right?
they can come and bring a game over to New Zealand.
And they're not scared of New Zealand.
No.
They beat them regularly, you know? I would say France are New Zealand's bogey team these days.
This is going to be a big summer of rugby.
I'll tell you some other exciting news.
Oh, I want
Argentina confirmed to be playing the Lions.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Where?
Wherever you want. I don't know. Presumably in Australia.
It won't be in Australia. It'll probably be at Twickenham or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Or they'll do it something. You can't do it at Twickenham.
Well, that's closer to Argentina than Australia is.
They should play him in the States.
or neutral ground.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Go to like LA or something like that.
Yeah.
They could both, and then they're like, then they can just hop back over to Australia afterwards from LA. There you go. That's what they need to do.
Yeah. Especially if we're warming up for a.
Except we're Canadian. We're not invited now. We can't even go.
No, and I'm scared to go. I'll tell you where it's going to be played. I've just Googled it. It's going to be played in Dublin.
In Dublin?
In the Aviva Stadium on the 20th of June, the day before my birthday.
Are tickets out for that?
I
might look.
Yes. And they're fucking expensive. Wow. Oh no, I'm looking at the travel package. Never mind, that's $2,000 for a travel package.
Oh, is that with including flights?
I think it's everything. Yeah.
I should look into that.
I think you get a BJ for that as well.
Because you know what happened? Like, you know how Ireland played in All Blacks in November?
Yeah.
In Chicago?
Yeah.
I wanted to go to that really bad.
Wasn't it Vegas? Anyway,
No.
whatever. No,
it's
Chicago. Yeah.
Or was it Boston? I can't remember. It's in the States.
Yeah.
Anyways, when I went to go buy tickets for that, I was having a hard time getting in. And I was like, okay, I'm going to buy best tickets. It's in the States, so it can't be that expensive. Man, they wanted over $1,000 a ticket. And I was just like, I was actually priced out. I was like, well, these are more expensive than I paid for World Cup tickets.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Just priced you right out. I was like, okay, that I can see. I was like $700 a ticket. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Right. That's still outrageous.
It is outrageous.
It's still like $300 more than I paid for like World Cup tickets.
Yeah.
But
I could fly there and back and have a nice little time for that.
So I was just like, oh my God, okay. But yeah, I actually got priced out.
Yeah. And, final thing I'll say on the commercialization of rugby is we're coming to see Harlequins and Exeter when we're in the UK. The tickets for that game, which is, let's be honest, a dead fucking rubber at this stage. Thank you, Exeter. £75 for a ticket. I can watch the Challenge Cup final for 20 quid. So something's going on, something's going on in rugby.
Yeah, those tickets, when we bought those tickets, those were a lot more expensive than I thought they were going to be.
They were more expensive overall than, no, they weren't more expensive than the Challenge Cup, but the Champions Cup. But like, I can buy 4 Challenge Cup final tickets for the same price as a dead rubber between Exeter and Harlequins.
It was
better be a good game.
I was wondering why they're struggling. I was like, holy fuck, like that. I was honestly expecting to pay like $60.
Yeah.
To go like $60 Canadian.
Yeah, it should be about
to go see a Harlequins Exeter game.
Be about £40. Yeah.
And then what did we pay? £70?
£75.
Yeah,
so it's over $100 Canadian. Yeah, that's mental.
It's like an NHL game.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like, this is
but it's not even a consequential game. That's what I'm pissed off about, right? It's not even a semi-final. It's not even a quarter-final.
No.
It's just a game that they're having.
2 teams that are not even in the top 4.
They're just having a game.
Yeah, they're just having a game.
Right at the end of the season. Because they have to.
Yeah.
Like, they're obliged to have a game. And I've got to pay £75.
We're not even going to see the top guys because they're all going to be resting.
No, we're not. Yeah, they're already on
season.
fucking holiday because they didn't win anything. So yeah.
All right, Harlequins, fly half comes out. Yeah. George. Like, who the fuck is that?
Where's Marcus Smith? Paid
George coming out here.
Yeah, he's 12.
Yeah, so it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Al, I think we talked about everything we were going to talk about today.
I think we did. Yeah.
All right, friends.
Stop talking.
Like and share the podcast.
Yes, please.
You can email us at thefriendsofrugbypod@gmail.com.
Made a meal like that.
You can message us on YouTube.
People have. They said, can you put timestamps on your video? And I said,
no, we're too lazy. We're fucking lazy as fuck.
I'd try. And I
Someone mocked our AI art too.
Do you know what? Good. That's what it's for.
I was going to listen. I almost didn't because of your shitty AI art.
That's the joke. I don't want to have to explain the joke, but that's the joke.
Well, I'm just saying that. Thank God for AI. If we didn't have AI, you'd have some fucking...
You think I can draw a rugby ball? Get fucked.
You'd
Go
have some like Mario
else.
Paint quality shit going on there. It'd be like, what the fuck is this?
It looked like South Park in the 90s. You don't want that.
All right, friends. Have a good one.
Bye.